Greetings everyone, Eric again, and today I'm going to start by using a little saying that came from Confucius. He used to quote that signs and symbols rule the world, not merely just phases and laws. So if you read in the title of this video, you'll see that it says ancient mystery religions, the Bible, government, and FYI, my aim and purpose is to entangle the misassociation, or what you will call a institutionalized dogma, which has separated all the ancient mystery religions which were passed down within the priesthood. So much of it was passed down and it was taught. It was not always vandalized, or it was not always stolen. But to understand this, you have to understand symbols and signs. Hence the saying, the sign of the times. That's where you get that saying from. You need to know the sign of the time. So man and woman almost became illiterate to signs and symbols, like a symbol retardation. But this is in ancient Egypt. You can see the serpent and the staff. United States Army, the medical patch, coiled serpent and the staff. That shows itself in what you call Roman mythology, the god Hermes, serpent and a staff with the wings. Also in Hindu, serpent and a staff. So if you trace this visual here, right, you trace this visual, you can see what? You can see the number 8. You can also see the dollar sign. That's for serpent, right? And so the dollar sign is commerce. Commerce is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is where you get the words merchant. But you also see it in an ancient pre-Christian religion called Mithraism, where the ancient god Mithra was emerging out the cosmic egg. Can you see the zodiac, the 12 signs? So yeah, this is ancient understanding. Now, words without facts, especially facts in language, is just really an opinion. So I want you to see this. We'll go to the language. Mercury. Mercury, LMS, Latin modification that stems from Mercurius. All right, now let's study it here. Mercury, Mercurius, the Roman god, later for the planet that they call Mercury. Quick, because that's what messages should be. They should be quick, and that's the orbital period for Mercury. It's swift and it's quick. It's 88 days. Mercurius, notice the MERC. You can see Hermes, right? Messenger of the gods. Hermes is where you get the word herald, like the Boston Herald. Mercurius, a corporation of traders, it's dealing with commerce. So follow me now. I'm going to try to speed this thing up a little bit. Now you're probably thinking, what do wing staff, wing hills, coiled serpents, and the planet Mercury have to do with Bible and government and astrology? Well, let me start by giving you supreme understanding. Now, what's the ruling planet for the Geminis? The Geminis are ruled by the planet Mercury, right? Now, Gemini traces itself to the word geminate, which means twin, as in two twin ovaries. This is why the zodiac sign for Geminis is two twins. Now, if you add the letter R to the word geminate, you get germinate. When something germinates, it's when the egg meets the sperm. This traces itself to the Hindu teachings. This is why when you look at a portrait of the Kundalini, it's a coiled serpent. The coiled serpent sits at the seat of what they call the cosmic egg, and when the egg meets that sperm, that's the beginning. Where have we heard the word the beginning? The beginning is in the book of Genesis. Now, it's no coincidence that in the book of Genesis it talks about the serpent and the woman, because this is a metaphorical message for the egg meeting the sperm when all life begins. So if you trace the word Genesis, you'll see it's relative to the word generate. The G-E-N, if you add the E to G-E-N, you get genes, as in the beginning. Right, so the word Mercury, the English word Mercury, is traced to the Latin, called Mercurius. Now, notice the MERC. Now, Mercurius is Hermes, and Hermes is Mercurius. They're synonymous. Now, in Roman mythology, Hermes was always depicted with a wand called the caduceus. He wore a winged hat, winged tail, sandals, and sometimes a purse, because the purse was symbolic of prophet. This is why all words dealing with prophet are spelled similar with the ME. This is where you get your merchant, mercantile, and merchandise. This is also law too. How so? Because merchandise comes from the Latin word mers. You can look it up in the law dictionary, mers. Nevertheless, so the word mers is where you get the language of commerce or commercial. So commerce in Roman mythology was done at a place called the Temple of Mercury, and there was a body of traders, like a corporation. They were called the Mercuriales. Carrying on, if you look at the word mers, you can see this ME. And the ME is where you get medicine, medicinal, and the right side of the brain, or excuse me, the hindmost section of your brain is what? The medulla. And all the ancients will tell you that Mercury was in control of the right side of your brain, which deals with intelligence. So you want all moves dealing with money or commerce to be intelligent. This same astrology mythology shows itself where? In the medical field, right? This is why all medical fields personify or they portray the god Hermes. And you can see him with what? The caduceus, which is a coiled serpent. Right? And he has what? The wing hat and the wing hills. So come on, people. Where do you see the wing hills in commerce? You see the winged hills in the Air Jordans. And Air Jordan, he's a real big merchant, a real successful merchant too. But it doesn't stop there, because in the medical field, it's in government. Remember, signs and symbols rule the world, not phases and laws. So the United States Army Corporation, their symbol that they give to their troops is the staff of Hermes. Same thing in the United States Air Force. So why is the government using mythology and astrology?